Yes.
Doing that thing, though.
Just doing a thing.
doing her
If
thing,
you
though.
are just tuning in, this right here is Radio 254, and you're tuned into the biggest, the baddest, the freshest show across East and Central Africa. This is the QUORUM show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
You know what we always say? Once you go QUORUM,
You don't come back.
You can't come back
And
from
I'm
this
your
one.
boy ABORN, Mr. Sam MUTHONDU, and you already know what we gonna do to keep it real here at the QUORUM.
Yeah,
Tunajua energy tumeanza nayo ni high.
By the way, my name is TRIVAD Peter. We are your hosts.
together with BIKO, and
Jewel, don't know. Yo, tell them blood do not hate we. Make the girl.
Yo. That was some old school vibes right there. If you missed Red Sun, if you missed K-Rapt, hey, we got you covered, manze. Thank you so much to La Petite for, taking us back in time. That was amazing. I can see Kijana Chronicles anasema tuchezeeni Red Sun. Who's the chicken now? You guys want to make this show an old school show? I got you. Even though itakuwa, because everyone is actually requesting some old school music. On our WhatsApp, kuna mtu hapa hivi hajasema jina, lakini anasema wagwan the QUORUM nichezeni some mudhaka. We have a contemporary section. So definitely, we got you, bro. We still got you. We got you. And keep those requests coming. I want to say a big shout out to everyone who's joined our live, manze. Keep requesting the music. Sindio?
Oh yeah, pia mimi na cheki on my side. Naona Cinnamon, tunamwitanga AC. Thank you for joining. Nakupenda sana. Ref akiwa Murang'a County. Cinnamon amesema kona dancing shoes on. Hey, kwani tumeamsha watu aje?
Ni katika harakati ya kupoteza baridi ama kufukuza baridi, because we don't want you guys to just mko tu hapo tu mmejishika mmejifinya. No, we want you guys to dance, feel free and engage with us. Talking of engage, two personalities in the building. Amazing. Alafu Buddha. Oh, yeah. Mimi, I love people whose mindset is very challenging. Unajua, mtu mwenye anakuonesha there's more to gain. So let's get into it, and I'm going to start with the person on the camera right now, Anajita Mihai. Yeah. Mihai, there's still guys here who don't believe that that's your name. Walai. Kuna mtu hapa anauliza mtu anaitwa Ebu spell, anasema Ebu spell.
Mihai. It's like Kiswahili, like spelling in Swahili. However, in order for someone to understand better, just tell him after Vutabangi Mihai.
Got it. Mihai, thank you for coming through.
Thank you so much, guys.
Well, when we're talking, you're telling me that you've had a very, 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 very engaging morning. Tell me a little about that.
So the morning was pretty intense. As I said earlier, Darren slept at my place so we can wake up early and start the morning very, very early, because otherwise I had to go and pick him up. It was a bit hectic. So what happened was that we slept at my place. We went to my bakery in the morning early. We picked up the cookies. Then we went to Gecko Cafe, whereby we installed the marketing booth and we started selling from there. After that, I thought, let me come here, because I promised to the guys I will make the show again. People were requesting for it. So after the show, there will be much more engaging. Today I have a very full day until 10 o'clock in the evening. I'm hoping by 10 today to finish it. So that's an average weekend of an entrepreneur.
So, what time did you have to wake up?
I think we woke up like 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
6 o'clock, so we can be at the bakery by 7. Must be there, so we can arrange everything.
I don't know. Do you have a routine that you normally have when you wake up? Because I have a challenge with waking up. I'm the sort of person who I'll wake up. Yeah, there's no more sleep, but I don't want to get out of bed.
I know, man. Even personally, it depends what you are. Either you are a night owl or you are an early bird. Personally, I think I'm a night owl.
Me too.
Because
I'm alive at night.
I can work all the way until night, but then I can wake up late. Most of the time I wake up, let me be honest, around 9 o'clock, 8:30. I enjoy my morning sweet sleep. However, there are days when you must wake up earlier. Yeah. Because the reason why I'm waking up like this, I know that if I wake up earlier, let's say 5 o'clock in the morning, yes, it's good. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to the gym, as I said, I'm working all day, so you need some rest. If you don't get rest, you will not be able to perform at your maximum. So instead of getting, let's say, 10 hours of 80% of my capacity, I'd rather get 7 hours or 8 hours of full capacity. Hence, I wake up morning, go through my agenda, see what meetings I have, what comes during the day, what can be achieved. Sometimes we have a meeting with my company, with my people from the company. We arrange A, B, C, D, needs to be done ASAP and so on. After that, I do everything. By 4:30, I'm working continuously, no lunch break, no breakfast, because I'm doing something called intermittent fasting as well.
Wow. You will tell us about that.
I will tell you. So by 4:30, break, stop. Then I go, I eat something, because you need to eat something. After that, 5:30 must be in class. In class until 8:30 in the evening, school. Because, you know, you need an education at the end of the day. You need something, you need a diploma, you know. After that, 8:50, I'm in the gym, working out until 10 o'clock in the evening. Then going home, finalize my work. And by 11, I want to finish work. 11:30, I want to finish work. Do some small procrastination, so to say, for half an hour. Then go back to sleep. And next day, repeat the circle.
That's a busy,
Wow.
very, very busy schedule.
Yes.
It makes me want to not become an entrepreneur.
But lazima ujitume man, lazima
Ujitume,
ujitume.
lazima.
Si ndio?
Oh, yeah.
Manze. Hey, mimi hata nimestuka.
God damn. Maybe I want to, Dorren, let's know about your typical day or your typical weekend.
My average day,
Yes.
truth be told, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I wake up at 6. I also have a challenge. With waking up early in the morning. As you said, you need to know yourself first, whether you're a night owl or an early bird. For me, I'm a night owl, but I usually try my level best to be up by 8:30. When I wake up, first thing I do, I take care of business. First order of business is NEATGARMS. That's my business. That's which I'm interested in. Reply to few mails that I have, DMs, and talk back to my clients. From there, I hit the gym, do some workout for 1.5 hours. Then from there, I get back to my business, coming up with designs. I put up my mind together. I come up with designs for the clothes, pants, and all. And then at the end of the day, I come back to my clients. I go seeking out feedback from people like Mihai. I tell him, what do you think of this item? How much should I sell it for? How much will you price it? Do you think there are any adjustments that needs to be done? And then from there, I'm a student, part-time student. Come 7:30, 6, I join my class all the way to 8:30.
What are you doing at school?
At school, I'm taking BBIT, that's Bachelor of Business.
The same class.
In the same class.
BBIT, Business Information Technology.
Why BBIT? Let me ask you, why BBIT?
Wow.
As an entrepreneur.
As an entrepreneur.
Why not an MBA, a business course, a bachelor in commerce
Well, for me, I'm passionate about both IT
and business?
So I wanted to kill two birds with one stone.
Oh,
By going for both BBIT.
Ah,
Because
nice.
at the end of the day, I love computers. I love messing around with them.
nice. Thank you. I want you to help us understand how you got to start your company.
Actually, before you even get there, just tell us what your the name of your company, what you deal with, if you have offices.
Okay.
Tell us about that first, and then we're gonna get into now all the nitty gritties.
Okay. The name of the company is called NEATGARMS.
Please spell that.
NEATGARMS, NEAT, the typical NEAT, and then GARMS, GARMS. GARMS, short form for garments.
GARMS.
Yeah.
NEATGARMS.
NEATGARMS, that's the name.
Got it. NEATGARMS.
You can look it up. We are up on Instagram. That's our account. NEATGARMS, no underscores needed, just that.
Okay.
What do we do? NEATGARMS is basically a wardrobe staple. That's what we say. By wardrobe staple, what I'm referring to is we have the wardrobe essentials. Staples referring to essentials, things that you might need, that you will need, not might. You will need as an average person. Dressing, to me, dressing is very key. It says a lot about you. Like, I don't even need to interact with you, but just from the way you dressed, that will tell me at least something. Yeah, the personality about someone. So this is something that has been developing since I was this tall.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you can see, it's like an inch tall.
An inch tall. It's something that has been developing with time. And I started from my own. I used to appreciate the fact that I'm dressing nicely. And when I go out there, someone notices, even if it's just one person, be it who. They notice, they compliment me. I feel great about myself.
Nice.
And then with time, I slowly started noticing I enjoy doing this. I identify unique clothes and all. And I would slowly dress my friends up. Like I live with a cousin of mine. He comes to me for advice. Things to do with color coordination, which item he should wear and all. Little did I know, I have a skill here of dressing people up. So I chose to come and decide to monetize that skill, and put it out to the business, put it out to the world.
Hey, that's beautiful. How old is the business now?
So far, it's just a year old.
Good, a year old. So actually, we're now in the right space. So a business that's a year old. Mihai, how old is?
Same way.
Yeah,
same
1
way,
year
same way.
old. Yeah, I remember.
Mine
that.
it's 1.5 year technically, because that's the moment we start registering research. But basically last year on this time, we start the procedure of equipping the bakery, finalize the packaging, and start KEBS process, because KEBS was really hard.
6
Crazy.
months. We can remember
So-
that.
Yes.
So my people here, we have businesses that are around 1 year old, which means the guys that we are talking to are still in that process of actually getting everything going. So these are actually the right people to talk to when it comes to starting up a business, because these are not businesses that have been here for 10 years. Hata wakumbuki background.
Yes.
Sindio?
And things have
Yeah,
changed
exactly. So keep it tuned. But I want to start with you.
Yes.
Bro, let's start with, you've identified that you dress well, number one. You know how to choose clothes. Sawa. And you want to make it a business.
Yeah.
What was the first step that you took? You've already identified niko na hii talanta. I can do this. Now I want to make it into a business. I want this to now bring me income.
Okay.
What is the first step that you took?
The first step, I asked myself this question. What is it that I'm going to do different from the rest? Because the market that I'm getting into, it's flooded. Too many people are in it.
Yeah.
Almost everybody right now.
Everyone.
They're going to source clothes, they come, they flip them. So I asked myself, what is it that I'm going to do different? First and foremost is obtain unique clothes, unique pieces. Secondly, this is where I stand out. You can look at the Instagram page that we have. We not only post clothes, but we also have our own models who I style them up. And through that, we show our clientele how to style up these certain pieces, these certain clothes and all. For our startup, for About Needs, what I can tell you guys, honestly, speaking from experience, you don't need no resources, you don't need no tools.
Really?
Yeah.
For a fashion startup or
Yeah, for a startup, even this someone like the late Virgil Abloh, he's a fashion icon. He's the creative designer for Louis Vuitton. But he's no longer with us. He kicked the bucket, unfortunately. Yeah. He started his own brand with something called Pyrex. He started with screen printing. Of course, by resources, I don't mean you need to have like zero shillings. You need some capital here and there.
Yeah.
Resources, by resources, I'm referring to you don't need to have a physical store for a startup. Basically, the business that I'm operating, it started from a basement. That served as my warehouse. That's where I would store my shit.
Nice.
I bought the screen printing machine, do the printing. We have some clothing racks, the hangers, and then all I need, my models. We put our clothes together, style them up, put it out to the public.
Wow.
I want us to just go turudi nyuma.
Turudi
Kidogo
nyuma.
tu.
Why not?
Kidogo tu. Here you are. You were you a student when you were starting the business?
Yeah.
You were a
Part-time
student.
student, part-time
So here you are, you're a part-time student. Did you have a job? Did you have any income?
Nothing.
No income. So here's a student who has identified business or potential business, yeah? And you don't have any income. You now how did you get to identifying what kind of clothes or what fashion you're getting? Where are you sourcing? Where did you get all this information from?
Okay.
How do you get to decide that, because guys are selling clothes out there,
Yeah,
and a
true.
lot. There's women's, children's. How do you get to identify that this is what I want to do? What made you choose that particular niche that you're currently in?
Okay. I had to approach the right people. As I told you earlier, this is something that developed with time. Meaning, by the time I'm getting there, I had known the right people, Kenyan people, who are getting the type of clothes that I want, the clothes that I can buy from them. I go talk to them, I reach out to them and tell them, can you connect me with your supplier here and there? I buy a few items, the others I can afford. The money, I got it from personal savings, and I had to get some loans from family. So from there, I get the connect from there. They ship the clothes. I have them with me, a few pieces. To be honest, I started with just 10 T-shirts, let me tell you. 10 unique T-shirts, that's what I started with.
Wow.
For a start.
Nice.
10 unique T-shirts and 2 jeans that I custom made. I went, bought 2 jeans, and then did something we call distressing. I don't know if you've seen the distressing.
Kurarua.
Kurarua, yo. I have photos
tear
I
them.
can show you.
Oh yes, to show us.
Exactly.
And finish the business.
Yeah. Let
So
me show you.
Des, how much costed you those 5 T-shirts
Yes.
and the pants? Because
That's
that
a
would be like a
distressing.
startup budget.
Yeah.
Like,
How much did they cost you?
Total, I was getting the plain T-shirt plus labeling it, designing it, a sum total of 600 per T-shirt. So 6,000, making 10 of them. And then for the jeans,
The two of them.
the 2 of them, my 2 jeans, they costed me, to each of them, a total of 1,500, 750. 1,500 some total.
Wow.
750,
Now,
750.
these guys that you approached to give you some guidance, are these guys that you had already identified before you even started the business, or are these just guys you came across? How did you, the toughest thing, especially, I'll talk about young youth, yeah? The biggest problem is finding the right person to give you the right guidance or the right advice, because people will take advantage of you.
Yeah,
You'll go to someone and you just want some simple advice. I want to start a business, and they'll ask for some money or some other sort of favors,
Yeah.
or they'll even misdirect you.
I went through
how
all that.
Yeah, how do you even get to identify that this is the right person for me to ask how to go about this?
There are 2 guys in particular. I want to give a shout out to Miles and Sharu. Yeah, Sharu. Yeah, Sharu. Those 2 guys are the ones that, while I was a kid, I grew up looking up to them in terms of fashion and generally as a person. So my first challenge, actually, really, as a startup, I went to this person. I prefer not mentioning the name. And I told him I have this sum of money. I'm interested in clothes. And I want to start my own business. I want to gain that financial independence as soon as. I don't want to finish school and then I start tammacking around looking for jobs. Because we all know how that goes, especially in Kenya. So I approached this guy. What he told me is, give me that money of yours. I'll put it into my business. We can get like 20 T's each of us. Let's say we get 6,000, he gets 6,000. We print 20 T's and then we sell it. The same night I went back to my dad. I talked to him. He told me, okay, partnerships are not really bad. But for a startup, he advised me not to start with a partnership. I start with my own. I find my own footing. I identify the challenges on my own, where to go, what I should, the do's and don'ts, the have and have nots. I need to identify all of them on my own. Because the minute I give my money to this guy, all he'll do is go print the T's. Whichever design he might go fuck it up and then bring the T's, and then all I'll become simple is a salesman.
Nice.
That's not what I'm after.
Wow, talking about your dad and how you've been raised, I want Mihai to help us with this. I know you've heard about this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That's
Yes.
the book I'm reading at the moment.
You're currently reading that. Nice. By Robert Kiyosaki. I want to ask you, were you raised by a rich dad or poor dad? And how did that fashion you to the entrepreneur you are?
I think I was raised by a poor dad. I would say a poor dad. Say a poor dad. And that helped a lot into my development at the beginning because of even though I wouldn't say poor dad, but I would say an entrepreneurial mind dad. Like, he was always challenging me to do something outside the box. It's not like he and fun enough, he told me the same thing without him reading the book, without him without I reading the book. He was saying most of the things like in that book about the paycheck. That the moment you get the paycheck, you become an employee. And I was not raised to become an employee personally. I was just raised to risk everything. Either go all in or go home. Simple as that.
Wow.
What about this?
Yeah, how about you, Dorren? Rich dad, poor dad.
I'd say a poor dad. but a
Poor
very
dad.
challenging dad.
Well, if you're listening to us, the definition of a poor dad there, I can't give that the dad has nothing or is poor. It's just that the dad depend on paycheck,
Yeah.
and then the rich dad invest, and then there's this education and a teacher to you about investment in money. How did you start receiving your education about money? Because
That's an interesting fact. So basically, with money started like this. You are given money as a test. Let's say you are given money and you go to deposit or you go to buy something. So then they challenge you because those money they don't really want to buy themselves that specific object. Let's say they send you to buy a phone for them, for example. They know they can go themselves to buy a phone.
Yeah.
However, they want to see what are you going to do with those money. Are you going to pocket them? Are you going to disappear with them? Are you going to go
to buy something cheap and then forge the receipts?
Exactly. Or are you going to take booze? Are you going to get drugs? So these are the things that they were testing you. So that's very important, I believe. And I remember Mossetti was saying the same thing about his dad.
True.
That his dad was giving him like millions of shillings to go to the bank to deposit them.
Deposit
Yes.
as a test. But then you see, at the same time, you can have a rich dad, but that rich dad has, okay, I don't want to say the mindset of a poor dad, but he's teaching you to find your own.
Your own
Like
footing.
Kobe. Yeah, your
Exactly.
own footing, you find your
there's
own.
that thing about you can have a rich dad who's actually a disadvantage to you,
To you.
because you're receiving everything. You will always be at your comfort
Yes,
zone.
exactly.
You
Exactly.
won't be in a
Like for me personally, I have a story to tell. This business for NEATGARMS, I really wanted to start long time ago, like when I was just joining high school. But then I approached my dad. I asked him for some financial help.
Yeah.
That's all I needed from him, and obviously guidance, fatherly guidance, business guidance. But him, I'm sorry to say this, but him being a Kenyan, having that Kenyan mindset,
I know.
he was like, no. If you start getting money on your own, what about school? You might quit in the middle of it.
Yeah,
So what he
yeah.
told me, Deron, no, go finish school first. When you're done with school,
Then do your thing.
come talk to me, graduate, and then I'll support you. Okay, he might be looking out for my education, but at the same time, what if I can juggle both of them at the same time?
I think it's culture, especially
It is culture. It is
Kenyan. I'm going to talk about our Kenyan parents. What parents in Kenya do is they don't want you to be independent at a young age because they don't trust you to take care of yourself or to know what you're doing at that time. So they want you to go through all the systems, the education system, go find a job, and then once you found a job, save, and then now you can now decide to start a business. But we have other cultures where the kid is very young, they don't even know what the industry that they are being gotten into is all about, but they'll stay there, or their parents will have them, in that. If it's maybe let's talk about Mihai. If you have a kid, for instance, you have your kid learn how to bake. You let your kid learn about your business. In Kenya, very few parents would do that. And that's a huge challenge. Did you receive that parents support?
Later on, as soon as I was done with
Later. You had to actually go through the process
had
I'm
to go
talking
through
about.
it. I had to prove myself, yeah. And I can say this to all parents listening to this. Change is inevitable.
Yes, sir.
The regime and the system that used to work for you guys doesn't mean necessarily it has to work for us.
For everyone else.
For them they knew the key to success is education, of which that's still the key.
It was.
Yeah, it was, and it still is.
Still is.
It was
At a degree.
So they used to be like, they have to finish school, they go get a good job, a secure job, they get security, that paycheck and all. For us, we have business opportunities, especially now with the world of online. It has made work so much easier.
And especially in Kenya with the payment method called M-Pesa, which, by the way, guys, it's something unique.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
Like, for example, now I'm here in Nairobi and I want to buy something from Kisumu. I just send M-Pesa. No bank transfer, which takes 3-4 days. No cash on...
it's immediate and you get the message right there, so you know you actually sent it. That's wonderful. Let's talk about NEATGARM for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
You've identified everything. You've now decided, let me now start. You have your products. You've already flipped a few clothes, yeah? Did you go to register first? Did you register the business first? Or did you just, first of all, You know, nowadays you can just go online. You'll go on Instagram,
sure.
advertise your clothes. You don't even need the government to come in. You don't need
Exactly,
any
when it's a small
licensing.
thing.
Yeah.
Was that the same case with you, or did you decide, let me do it legit? Let me.
I wanted to go all in. I wanted to go
my.
legit. Because for me, I have so much vision for this brand. I want it to be a big brand on its own. Hopefully to the levels of Gucci, Chanel and all.
Amen.
Inshallah. So for me, first and foremost, I had to liaise with LLC to check whether my name.
Your name exists.
It has been used
Now,
before.
how is the process when it comes to registering the name? Do you find it tedious?
No. It's simple. It's straight to the point. Self-explanatory.
Is it expensive?
Not really. You just have to pay that license fee to register. It's not
How
really
much was
expensive.
it? Around 20
How much
Gs
was it?
altogether.
Huh?
20 Gs,
How
I
much
think.
was it?
20 Gs.
20
Really?
Gs.
Just that.
That's business license, fire license, all the licenses.
No,
plus the
I don't
name.
think so.
It was 20 Gs.
For everything.
No. For
No,
my
for
name,
just name. Yeah.
name.
What?
For the
It
name
can't be
Neatgarms.
everything. So
No,
you're
it's,
telling
in
me,
my
bro.
case was for everything 20 Gs. I paid to the lawyer 20 Gs and I arranged everything was done.
in Kenya.
In Kenya.
No, you'll tell us. You'll tell us that.
tell us more.
Let me find this out. You're saying to have your name, to search the name that you decided to have your business to see if it already exists. You paid 20K.
Yeah.
And when you paid the 20K, you are now allowed to use that name. So the 20,000 was only
For the name.
for the name.
For
So
the brand.
yeah. And you're saying that's okay. Now you already have the name. The name is registered now. What's the next? What's the other license, especially for a clothing line? What's the other licenses
line.
that you need?
That for the name. And then just a legal business permit for you to carry on your businesses in Kenya legally.
That's city council.
The city council. Yeah.
How much?
It's 6,500.
Imepanda kidogo. Imepanda. It used to be 5, and now it's 6,500.
Me personally, I paid 6,500.
But
for the
it
license.
depends on the type of business you're starting, right?
Definitely. Some businesses like liquor stores and all, because that's something
Yeah,
I'm also
you'll
trying
pay-
venturing into. You pay much more.
You pay more. Definitely.
Let's bring Mihai into this conversation about starting the business and the kind of documents you need. You've talked about needing a lawyer.
Yes, you must have a lawyer. Without a lawyer, you can't do these things.
Tell us why do you need a lawyer? Which kind of documents does the lawyer land, the affidavits?
So basically, when you start, the lawyer will request for basic documents such as your ID and your passports, for example. Then will come the rest. He will produce the most documents at the beginning. There will be CR12. When you have a shareholding company, they will get CR12, which shows the shares to whom they goes and so on. There is the fire license, business license, the council. In my case, it's a bit more complicated than his, because on my end I have the 2 more certificates of KEBS and NEMA. NEMA is the environmental certificate. Basically, there's which one? But these things, you see, this license, they expire every 1 year, so they need to be renewed. I just renewed them mine recently, and it was actually much quicker than last year. Renewing them, it's
Renew
easy.
is easier. Is it the same cost to renew, or do they lower
It's a
the
bit
price
lower.
for
It's
you?
a bit lower because
little
renewal,
lower,
you see,
okay.
when you make them at the beginning, you need a lawyer who will know how to maneuver around. When you renew them, you can just send your manager or your assistant, and he goes and he will fix it. Just go near a stadium, and one day, chop, everything will be done. You need health license.
Yeah. I was about to ask you that. What about health? and
Yeah,
health?
the
For you,
health-
definitely,
You're
right?
dealing with food
Yes,
substances.
basically,
Definitely.
I don't need that one because I'm not handling the cookies directly. But people who are working in the bakery, they are the ones which must have that license. In reality, what happens with that license is that people, my girls from the bakery, they have to go to to a national hospital.
Yeah.
Then they get examined, and then they say, yes, you are okay, you are not sick or something, you will not contaminate the cookies, so you can go ahead and get.
Oh, let me clarify this. So, if you're starting a business that has to do with health, foods, and food production,
Yes.
it's not the company that is starting it that needs to get that health license. It is the workers.
It is the company that has to go get it for
For
the
the workers. Now I get you. Wow, bro, did you need any fire licenses or whatever? Do you have like a specific location?
Now that's the thing. I don't have a physical store.
Okay.
I operate online majorly, and at the same time I still operate from my basement.
Let's get to that. How has the online space changed the whole entrepreneurial game?
It has changed the entire game. It has made it much simpler. Yeah. With all these ads, like you don't need to go look for clientele.
Oh yeah.
Through the ads, you can invite more and more people. It has changed the entire game. It has made it much easier, more convenient. All I need to do is just have beautiful clothes, style my models up, show people how we're dressing up, take good photos, put it outside to the public.
Something really interesting you're talking about is models.
Models.
You have models.
Yeah.
So these are guys who put on your clothes and then
I style them up.
to
Yeah. Well, I do have a team. My team comprises of my photographer, who's a friend of mine, models, both male and female. And then from there, I have my consultants, Mihai being one of them. There are those guys, you need to consult business-wise.
Yeah.
Like, bro, pricing for this. How do you think of this piece? That's simply what my team is comprised of. Yeah.
Are you guys taking notes? Are you guys really taking notes?
But also something that he needs to underline here. The models, he doesn't. Do you pay them?
You
Not
don't pay
currently,
them?
don't pay them. Why? Because as a startup with a limited budget like his and like mine, you need to look for the lowest. How can I say?
Minimize
Zero
our
budget.
cost.
What can you get? So that's why it's good to have a great network because he's using his friends, which
I'm
are
using my
beautiful,
network.
pretty, and they are publicly
People with following and all that.
So then they can just use them, and you
So
see they grow
what's-
together.
How do they benefit? How do you get to balance out? Because you're a business. When they model for you, you definitely get some clientele. There's income. How does that benefit them?
Okay, if I may start, let me answer. Let me go back a little back.
Yeah, sure.
For someone like my photographer, as he said, I'm not yet getting to pay them, but I will get there with time. But with the limited budget that I'm working with, for my photographer, who is a friend of mine, he comes, takes the photos. He's a friend of mine. The models are friends of mine. I'm simply using people around me.
Wow.
That's what I
That's
actually
what.
wanted you to
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this thing,
Friends.
this
My
networking thing, and these friends and the people in your circle. To you, Mihai, what kind of people did you need to know before you start the business? What kind of people did you need to surround yourself with?
So let me tell you, if I will tell you how it works, it sounds so wrong, yet it's like, let's say this is the path to make a business.
Yeah.
I took that path.
Educate us, bro. Educate us.
Can you believe all this started because of one small thing, one small detail? Buying a good car. Can you imagine?
Motivation.
You bought a good car, and that car
I bought
gave you the network.
I bought a BMW, yes.
Bro, okay.
After that, after I bought the BMW from the same garage, from the same yard, there was a guy there. When I bought the BMW, yes, he told me, you are from Romania, yes. The guy was from Zimbabwe. He was working here with some pipe industry. He told me there is a Romanian guy also over there at GECO, and he is doing car wrapping. I was like, okay, that's weird. How come I don't know about him? Because trust me, there are about 150 Romanians in the country currently. Yeah.
And you almost know all of them.
How do you know? You researched?
We met at the embassy at the Romanian Day. We meet there at the embassy and we do some networking. But you see, the
You
problem
have a
was-
Romanian day in Kenya.
Yeah, we respect the Romanian Day from Romania, which is 1st of December.
Yeah, and then you meet.
We meet at the embassy,
Kenyans.
networking.
Kenyans, tunapatananga tu hapo kwa Jogonas. Hapo Jogonas tu.
Now, Uhuru Park.
So you see, I
That's
bought the car.
amazing.
That guy told me, go there, you'll find the Romanian guy. I was like, okay, let me go there to see. And I went there, I saw the car wrapping was looking nice. I saw the restaurant was looking nice. The restaurant is a Brazilian guy, which has the restaurant. So there is a GECO cafe, there is a GECO car wash, which used to be the first car wash in Kenya, which is automated. I was like, okay, interesting. I never heard of it.
Yeah.
Then I went inside, I started speaking with that guy Romanian. Then he found, we bonded immediately. We bonded. After that, we haven't spoke for a while. Then after about 6 months, we start communicating again by mistake. All started by doing off-road together. We were going for off-road because he's a maniac in off-road. And he's like, let's go for doing some off-road. We went for off-road. Then he found me interesting. Then he introduced me to his circle. Now his circle comes here at GECO. GECO, if you go to GECO, it's basically for networking.
It's in Lavington.
It's in Lavington. It's a great coffee shop. It's a great restaurant and bar. But trust me, the networking you get there, if you can manage to penetrate it, it's difficult. That circle is difficult to get in. But if you get in that circle, trust me, it's amazing. It's amazing because you see, I got in that network. For that network, you meet an entrepreneur, Romanian fellow, which does car wrapping, the first one who started in Kenya. Then there is another entrepreneur which has a restaurant, his own restaurant there. There is another one which has Patrick, which has how do you call it, construction company. Then there is another one which has a travel agency. Then there is another one which has an insurance of insurance.
And they keep introducing you to more and
Exactly,
more and more.
exactly. Then there is another electrician. There is a lawyer which has a law firm, and you find a huge circle of network. And anytime you need something, you will find it there. Like you just give a call. Can I find this? Let's say I need a plumber to put a pipe.
Yeah, they'll hook you up.
They hook you up immediately. And trust me,
That
it's
is a very
valuable.
That is a very, very valuable
And
lesson.
now that was the fact. That was the problem. I was there a student. Exactly. I was there a student. Imagine a student. And all these guys are very high up. You automatically,
Established already.
yes, are established. So automatically you feel by inside the inner push to reach their level. And I was like, okay, I need to do also something. And that's why I was thinking how to venture also into business.
So, Startup 101, find the right network.
Exactly.
Find the right people to engage
Circle
with.
your friends with people which are much smarter than you, people which are challenging you. Even if don't look at the age, don't look at the race, don't look at
Just look at
background.
what they
just look where
what,
they are.
what are
those
they
people.
offering on the table,
Exactly.
and how can they grow you. So a lesson to all my people out there, by the way, usikuwa ule mtu wa kutoka kwa nyumba, kazi yako ni kuenda tu kwa mnyweso, unarudi na kamsichana ama unarudi tu na mutu, and you guys don't do anything else that is gonna grow you tomorrow. Go out there, find out. Hata wewe mwenye na run, huyo manager wa hiyo place unaenda kukunywa, go talk to them. There's a reason they're there, right?
Exactly.
So that's Startup 101, find the right network. Startup 101, point number 2 is you need to be able to identify, because the one thing that is common with both of you guys is that you identified what you wanted to do.
Exactly.
You
Your
went
passion,
ahead,
you need to
yeah.
pursue
You
your
went
passion.
ahead and you found out this is what I wanted to do. When you did, you went ahead and found out, how do I actually now get to start? You found a group who will, help you out. Then find friends who will help you in your business. You don't necessarily have to pay them at that particular moment, because number one, biashara ikigrow mko pamoja. So find friends, real friends, and this is where you actually now get to know your friends.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm sure you
exactly.
approached some. I'm sure you approached some, and they was like, bro,
kazi
me
ya
spanyagi hizo
kwani
kazi
mimi
za
ni Red
bure.
Cross.
Wantumia, and they were like, they don't want. So find the good friends who are actually able to help you in your
True. And you don't need to look so far. People around you, those surrounding you.
guys around you.
They are there. Your neighbor, it's there.
Just a matter of you opening your eyes.
Exactly.
Wow. So last time when we were talking with Mihai, aliniambia ma-challenges kadhaa alipata, especially when it comes to the government side of things, the licensing, the what is it? The taxes, you being able to pay taxes, you being able to have your, like sasa wewe jua uko online.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're having to pay any other fees for your business.
No. For me, it was just those ones. The LLC, my
LLC,
name,
and
the
then
license, the legal.
Kanjo,
Yeah, the legal.
Well, I have seen the name LLC on so many fashion stores. So what's the meaning of LLC?
LLC is for limited liability companies.
Limited liability company.
Yeah.
Tell us about a limited liability company and a company that doesn't have limited liability.
Limited liability company is simply a company that's first of all privately owned.
Oh yeah.
But with time, you can choose to make it IPO. IPO means initial public offering. You invite the public to come invest in it.
Nice.
They come buying shares. But for LLC means the company is limited, meaning your business, in case your business doesn't go well, you get into a state of debt or bankruptcy, you're protected. They don't come for your personal assets. Yeah.
so this is where they basically separate you from your business.
Yeah.
Nice,
Your business is an entity on its own, and you're an entity on your own.
Utabebwa na watu wa nini. That's amazing.
What is your company?
I'm trying to remember what does LTD stands for now.
Limited.
Limited what?
Sorry, you said LTD?
Yes.
Limited, simply.
Just
Just
limited.
limited.
Yeah.
The same thing like his. We also approach the limited because you want. Yes, mine is limited. No, I don't like I don't have personal liability because what's happening, the business is an entity by itself on its own. Currently, I'm not getting any salary out of it, any money whatsoever because I'm a student. I'm starting it right now. However, after I break even, I will start getting my house and everything to be paid by the company. So because the company it's a being in itself, let's say it's something by itself. It's like this coffee here, and you are working for this coffee, and then you get a salary. Even if you are the owner of it, you still work for it, because at the end of the day, what happens, you own the shares inside the company, but it's not your company. It's not like if I make money with my company, let's say I make tomorrow 100 million, I cannot just go there and take 1 million
and say
let
it's
me
my
go
money.
to, yes, you can't do that because you need to,
Because the business, the business is not you.
exactly.
So that's another person.
You need
It's
to
not-
justify
Exactly.
You need to justify why do you take that money.
But what if the business needs some money and you?
That's the problem. That when the business is money, you just chip in freely without issues. But what happens?
It's more
You
like
are
a one-way
loaning.
road.
Or it's a one-way
It
road.
can take
Yes.
from you, but it's not. You can't take from it.
But it's like you
So-
loan to the company some money, and let's say you loan 1 million or 10 million, and then eventually after it breaks even, that company is
take it.
responsible to pay you back the loan that you gave to the company plus the interest accumulated.
I have a question. How do you get to decide whether you want your company to be, limited liability or just incorporated? What makes you decide that?
Personally, for me, that's a no-brainer.
Does it depend on maybe the size of the business? For instance, for his business, he has employees too.
Yeah.
He has locations, right? So for him, he has to consider like all these other factors. When we look at the scale of his business, it's different from yours.
Yeah.
You're a business that you can actually operate online, right?
True.
So for you, how would you advise someone who wants to start such a small business? Do they look into such issues, or can they just look into the licensing and then go ahead and start?
For startup, no need to go all the way looking matter of being limited or unlimited. Just settle the first things first, which comes being the
Make sure the
licensing.
business is first of all running,
Yeah.
and then now you can
It's
now
up and
focus on
running.
other
You
things.
find your ground, and then with time it's gonna grow. Whereby you feel you need some extra support, need extra management. That's why
you get in.
Yeah, that's why you get in.
Nice. Wow. Now the both of you have the licenses. Everything is in place. You have the capital, and you wanna sell. You wanna start now selling these things to people. We come to down to the product now.
Wonderful.
How do you make your product distinguishable, or how do you make your product pop out there?
Well, about NEATGARMS, we not only offer product, but we also offer services.
All right.
For services, we mean we can style you up. We have artists, they come to us. They need that one time. Wasanii huko, you can come to NEATGARMS, we can style you up. You can buy clothes, you can rent them. If you need like the clothes for a day or you're sure you won't put it on again, you can rent it out.
Wow, you rent.
Yeah, you can rent out the clothes.
So like people who have video shoots and like movies,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can come to your
Can come to
store and
NEATGARMS.
get-
We can style you. You can tell us what you want, or if you have no clue, or less, we'll style you up from head to toe. About
Clothes
the
for hire.
yeah. About the products, we ensure we usually the key for us for NEATGARMS is just standing out.
Standing out.
Yeah, we don't go like for common things. Personally, for NEATGARMS, for a startup, I have to buy clothes from people and then I flip. I tried as much as possible to avoid big labels because everyone is doing that. Like Louis V, I'm not gonna get a Louis V shirt and then I come sell to you people.
No brand, right?
No brand.
No brand.
Because he's already a brand.
I'm a
So
brand.
Exactly.
do you actually have those, like you can see if it's Gucci, then maybe they'll have some spot on brand account.
Yeah.
You also do the same.
Yeah, we do that. The labeling. Labeling and
labeling.
branding. Yeah, we do
Have
that.
the big logo and
Yeah.
One more question.
Let me tell us
Sawa,
about
sawa,
the product. How you have you have everything in place. Now it's the product you're concentrating on.
Personally, you see, I did not start like this. This has a different approach. On my end, I had the product already. Yes.
Because for you had to first of all make sure you have the right thing before any. Yeah.
For me, it took,
it's a
remember, like
process.
last time, it took me 10 years to develop the recipe. It took us 10 years to find the right
can
ingredients and everything.
10 years.
And after that, the recipes were there. So it was just a question of, okay, we have them, now let's make them available to the public. So that's why for me it was different. But even now, as we are speaking, as a business person, you always have to look yourself, how can you improve yourself daily? What do you need to change in order to improve? So even right now, I'm looking at different products. What can I bring on board to make new things? Like, for example, cakes and so on.
Nice. Hey. Mama, I wanna know. Now you have the product, you have the licenses, and you wanna go to business. You wanna start business. Now you wanna start the operations. How do you launch the product? This word we use a lot. Launch.
Yeah, so there are
Launching
many
things.
people.
It becomes a party.
Yeah, there are many people who likes to do that, to do a launch party.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, believe it or not, I haven't done that.
Would you advise against it, or you feel it's unnecessary?
I would say there are advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that if you do that, you get a boost into knowing your company. You have a boost.
Yeah.
Disadvantage, it will cost you a lot. So when it's a startup, when you don't have any investors, it's difficult to have that launching party. The worst you can do, the best you can do, is just a small ad that we are launched, we are live, come and buy from us. But a big launch party, until you don't have the budget for it, I would vote against it. Better make a private party with your friends, invite your friends over, open that expensive whiskey, have a sip of whiskey, have some choma and party, because your child started.
Darren, how would you advise someone who wants, they already identified everything, they have the product, and now they want to start selling? What is the first thing you would advise them to do?
Launching. I can tell them from my own experience. I used to approach. There's the online approach that simply entails dressing up models and and then uploading sick photos, videos, and reels. Second approach, I'm not limited to only operating online. I have to go to the ground. By the ground, meaning I take some of my items, my clothings. I attend fashion pop-ups. Like there was one recently held before elections in Nairobi Street Kitchen. Yeah, just around there. It was something sick out of this world.
So what happens there?
It's a fashion pop-ups whereby creatives come, they display their stuff, share ideas, at the same time network, and then you have people like, you can have audience. Then they just come. Yeah, the fashion police. Yeah, people they come. At the end of the day, you'll leave that place gaining a couple of things. First of all, sales, the same networks, and at the same time, knowledge. Well said. Aside from fashion pop-ups, that is flea markets that usually go on. Especially you target. For me, my target audience is millennials and Gen Z. So I go to schools like Strathmore University when they're having their flea markets. I go showcase my stuff there.
Nice.
They start the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So to me, that's what we call launching, and then from there, find a foot.
That's really proactive. Like you do look for schools where unaenda chini kama hoka.
Unaenda hapo, una set up stand up yako, mambo zako.
So that's the one thing that's common with Mihai and Darren. The one thing they're telling us, you got to be there. You got to walk. Tembea manze, tembea, network, jitume. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, manze. Mihai, I want us to get into these cookies. I want us to tell Pinky and her friends about Ofelos. Yes. Now, if you want to, first of all, find Ofelos on Google, you need to just go to Ofelos Ltd. That is Ltd.com, Ofelos. They have diabetic-friendly, very delicious cookies, and they have currently 3 products. Sawa. Now, last time we got to taste one, and these guys, they're actually not very expensive, 650, right?
Yes.
kuna different brands. There's the keto-friendly ones.
No, all of them are.
Oh, sorry, all of them are keto-friendly. There's the different brands are the tastes, basically.
Different taste, different
the
flavors.
Different tastes and flavors. Mimi nilipenda yenye iko na nini coconut. That thing is so soothing. Let me ask you something when it comes to such. When an individual wants, let's say I'm starting a shop that sells cakes and such, and I want to have these products with me, and I want to be able to sell your cookies. What do I need to do to be able to have that? And are there regulations that you have for your retailers?
So basically for retailers, you will have a contract. You have a contract, a mutual contract. Oh, Ian is here also.
Awesome.
Welcome in, Ian.
I am so sorry I'm late. I am so sorry. I'll buy you guys lunch or something.
Oh yeah. Welcome there.
Oh, cool.
We'll have you in a few.
Set you up in a few.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. So our third guest is here. We are grateful. Yani, leo I feel like my head is expanding. I feel like literally my head is expanding. Yeah. So big up yourself, Ian, for coming through. We'll be getting to you in a few. Currently, Mihai, you were telling us about the requirements for you to be able to retail this cookie.
Yes, when you retail a box, a cookie in a supermarket, there is a mutual contract. So you make a contract, then the retailers make a contract, because the supermarkets or the shops owners, they want your product, so they sell. And me as a producer, I want their support. So it's a win-win situation. It's a mutual connection, so to say, mutual benefit. So you always have to agree on terms. Like, for example, let's say what happens in the case whereby the product expires and it's not
and you've
sold.
not yet sold them, yeah.
So before it's sold, before it's expiring, you will do a promotion so that you can sell it quicker. If it's not sold, then you return the shop and then it's getting exchanged. But depends, different retailers have different contracts. Some retailers which are big, let's say for example Carrefour, they have much stricter policies, but you know, they are not so passive, so to say, in signing contracts. They are not just closing the eyes and signing contract. They will tell you, go back, renegotiate this. So you have to always play a fair game, but also you have to take consideration that they are willing to step on you, you know.
Okay. What are some of the let me say, how do you support someone who wants to get into this? In terms of, you're selling maybe a piece at 650, but this is a person who wants to stock up, let's say 2 cartons. Yeah, they already have a shop that is established, but they want a lot of products. Is there different terms or different prices for such?
Basically, prices varies according to the quantity that you order.
That you're taking.
The higher quantity you order, the cheaper it is. That's how it is in the bulk industry. Even with me right now, I told you when I sell this one right now, I don't make any money.
Yeah.
However, I can make money in the near future when I will benefit of economy of scale. What does that mean? You cannot buy 1 kg of erythritol, the sweetener I'm using, at 3,500 shillings. When you buy 1 ton, it will be much cheaper when you buy such a big quantity. However, when it's small quantity, it's expensive. The same with my cookies. Now, if I sell like this online, 650. But if you come to me directly and you say, look, I have a small shop, I want to sell them myself also, what will be the best price? Then we sit down, we see how many are you ordering. Then we discuss the terms, we discuss a middle way. And of course, because every retailer, they have also their markup. Because they don't just sell. When they sell a product, even if my product, they need to make money. So when they sell a product, I need to cut some of if I have any margin, and give it to them. Wow. So they can sell it and they can also make money. That's how supermarkets also make money.
Nice. To Dorren. Around the same area of how you operate and how you get partners, I want to know, you are a styler, a designer, and we want to know these names.
Yeah. Let me clarify that.
Yes.
For a stylist, it's someone who puts 2 and 2 together. They can have pieces of cloth, and then they put them. I have shoes, I have pants, I have a jacket, and a tee. Yeah.
This will go that.
Yeah. So I put them all together.
Nice. So someone with a taste, a fashion taste or something.
Yeah, you need to have an exquisite taste.
Nice.
That's a stylist.
All right.
For a fashion designer,
Yeah.
you come up with something from scratch. you make it from
A
scratch.
tailor.
more so.
Could be. A tailor is a fashion designer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tailor.
Okay.
But not necessarily.
Not
Them
necessarily.
usually mend clothes at some
Yeah.
point.
Uh-huh.
They repair.
Uh-huh.
For a fashion designer, I'm supposed to go to the shop, get the fabric,
The
for this
material.
cloth,
Nice.
do it myself. I can choose to have maybe the collar for it to be round or a V-neck,
Or Chinese.
whichever.
Or
Chinese collar, yeah. At the same time, I'm supposed to work on if I'm printing, I come up with the design, the
Yeah.
screen printing. If it's embroidery, if I'm going to distress the shirt,
nice.
now that's a fashion designer. At the moment, what I am, I'm a
Is-
stylist.
Oh, yeah.
Stylist.
You take two and two together.
Yeah, I put them together.
Talking about the fabric and the materials, there's this claim that fashion design contributes to greenhouse gases, so much greenhouse gases. One of the biggest contributor to environmental change. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah. How do you do? How does your business operate consciously, aware of all these facts?
Consciously.
Yes.
Well, what I can say at the moment is
I don't think Darren is admitting anything. You're because you're not into manufacturing or something.
Not yet.
Cindy, you're-
Everything fashion, like the styling, everything fashion, like has been told. It's because people are buying too many clothes and they want a new one tomorrow and everything. So the production process amidst so many guesses. I want to ask you that.
okay. Well, what I
Is
can
it
say-
true? Is it true?
Well, partly it contributes to
How?
it. Partly because of all the emissions, the manufacturing process,
Oh yeah.
and at the same time things like fur.
Oh, the goats.
Yeah.
Oh, the sheep.
One European nation, there was something the government was complaining.
Oh yeah.
There was the domestic animals.
Oh yeah.
Sheep, the goats.
How they're
even
shaped and how
dogs.
they're treated.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They are mistreated, killed,
True.
like, with no
I've watched
purpose.
several
All in the name
documentaries.
of getting that far.
Oh yeah.
But then you see, at the same time, life is a double-edged sword.
Oh yeah.
If we say we don't want to pollute the environment, that means either we walk naked or we walk around in skin. We go back to the Stone Age.
Wow.
What we can do about all that is find a solution, an alternative to it, or if not, if a solution is not possible, we try and moderate all of it.
Darren, I have one question for you before we move on. When it comes to partnering, you already have clothes, and you've said you deal with guys who are making movies, artists, even corporate guys, right?
Yeah,
so let's say I'm a person who wants to work with you exclusively. I want you to be
As an individual,
or even as a company, yeah.
as a company.
I want you to be, bringing me your clothes. I want you to be my dress or something like that. What are the steps to take for me to be able to get in touch with you, for me to sit down and have such, or what are the things that you look into? Do you actually have guys that you supply clothes to and they retail for you?
Yeah.
So what are the necessary requirements for an individual to actually get to partner with you in such a way?
Well, we meet, we come to a common ground. You let me know what you really want. For instance, my dad hooked me up with a friend of his. He owns a real estate company. And definitely they're gonna need corporate t-shirts. So he gave me that job.
So you
I went, asked him, which color do you want? He said white. I told him, okay, white is not so bad, but you're playing safe. You can have beige, you can have cream, and then have multiple options, variety, And then from there, we start with him, the designing. How does it want it to be? Do you need big logos? Do you want it to be printed or embroidery? You get to know what the client wants. But first, if it's through our contacts, you can reach me out through darren.karanja@gmail.com. That's my email.
darren.karanja@gmail.com. Instagram.
Instagram, NEATGARMS. That's the
That is
name of the account.
NEATGARMS.
Yeah.
People should check Neatgarms.
Neatgarms on Instagram, by the way. Woo, fabulous
People are
clothes.
leaders, by the way.
Cindy,
And our follow too. It's true. The only lead. I'll follow too.
I love the fact that you've been able to take us through the entire process of starting, especially for such kind of business.
Yeah.
Kuna watu wengi hapo nje, you guys want to start your clothing line, you guys want to sell these fedora hats, you guys want to, so these are the things that you need to look out to, the partners that you're working with, the networking, the licensing. You need to be able to have all that information before you can actually go ahead and start. Sindio.
Oh, yeah. Go for a short break.
Yeah, we'll definitely be going for a short break. When we come back, we now get to the questions. Mihai, there are a couple of questions for you. Darren, Pia, we will read them. You'll get to answer. And then we get to the man. So, keep it locked. This right here is the Quorum Show on 254.radio 0110254254 in case you want to ask any questions. Na tuko live pale #Instagram. Let's go. Nyashinsky coming up with Glory Super God.